I'm here with my Husqvarna 572, my 550, and my T540 XP, and I've got a handful of bars. We're going to talk about different kinds of bar and chain. Principally, we're going to talk about the pitch and the gauge and the drive links that helps us to identify bar and chain matches. So on any given saw, we have the chain and the bar and the sprocket in here that all have to match. Now we can change the length of the bar, and that's going to change the length of the chain. But first thing that has to match between those three things is the pitch. And the pitch is a number like this. So we have, this is a bar that I have on my Husqvarna 550, and the pitch is right here, the 0.325. And 0.235 inches is the pitch. And then we come over here to this other bar, and it's 3/8 inch low pro. Okay, and now we come and we'll pick up, my Oregon bar here. It's stamped on here on the side. That's 3/8 pitch, and that's a standard 3/8, not a 3/8 low pro. The pitch is defined as the distance between 3 of these rivets divided by 2. I don't know why they do that, but that's what they do. The distance between 3 rivets divided by 2. So the 3/8 inch pitch, which is this chain, is a little beefier. And then we go down to the 550, and these rivets are small. This is all smaller, so then the distance is smaller. This is now 0.325 inches instead of the 3/8 inch. And we go down to 3/8 low pro. So again, now this is a smaller chain. It still has a 3/8 pitch, but it is identified by the low pro or other markers, mini and things like this, that tell us that this is smaller chain for smaller saws. And the bar, the chain, and the sprocket all have to be the same pitch. And we can change that. So I've got a bigger saw, my buddy's got a bigger saw, and we want to put this bar and chain on it, but he's got a different sprocket. We can change that. When we're going to put this bar and chain on there, we can also take the sprocket off this saw and put all 3 of them on his bigger saw and run this 24-inch bar on a huge saw, and it'll be cool. We're going to do it sometime to race them. But if you know you've got those 3 matched, that's the first step, is matching the pitch. Okay, so aside from the pitch, now we talk about, this is a 24-inch bar. We've got the 28-inch bar. We've got an 18 and a 16-inch bar down here. And people talk about the length of the bar, and that's a good way just in general terms to understand bars. But when we're talking about matching bar and chain and sprocket, the length of the bar is not helpful. It's not the right way to measure a bar. And it's because different bars will come in different widths, and there's a different way of mounting back in here for the bar to fit with the power head, and it can change the length of the chain that will match this bar. So you can't just say, oh, I have a 24-inch bar and know that such a chain will fit it. You have to know how many drive links are on the chain, and the bar, it's a combination. So back to our packaging here. We talked about the pitch. Down here, this is a picture, there's a little drive link there, and this is 45 drive links. And it's a 12-inch bar, great, but not all 12-inch bars will have 45 drive links. There could be various numbers, 46 and 48 and 42, or whatever it be. And then we come to my 18-inch bar, that's 72 drive links, and this is probably, let's see, let me zoom in on this, because this is important. I'm showing you the packaging on these bars, but here we can look at this bar and see the stamp here, 3/8 pitch, 84 DL drive links, and the gauge is up here, is 0.050 inches. And it says 24-inch bar, and that's fine, but we only need to know those 3 numbers. The pitch is 3/8, the gauge is 0.050, and 84 drive links. There's our 3 numbers. And again, coming back to our packaging, this is the 72 drive links and the 0.05 gauge. Well, wait a minute, 0.050, that was the same as this. Can we put this, the chain, and no, you can't. The pitch, the gauge, and the number of drive links have to match. for the bar and chain to work together. So I can't take this chain off of this saw and this bar and ever put it on this saw. It's not going to work until we get all three parts to match. And I can't take a smaller chain and run it on this because now the sprockets aren't going to fit, because this is the 3/8 pitch instead of the, and if I put a 325 chain on there, it's not going to work out. So now you're going to buy chain, you're shopping online, you go to the hardware store, whatever it is. That's all you need to know is those three numbers. And as I showed you on this bar, it's stamped right there. I can read that it's a 24-inch bar, which doesn't help, but it's a .050 gauge, it's 3/8 inch pitch, and it's 84 drive links. When I know those three numbers, I can get a bar and chain to fit that, or replace that, or whatever it is, and match them up, no problem. It doesn't matter if it's a Carlton brand, or an Oregon brand, or a Husqvarna brand, or a Stihl brand. They'll all work as long as those three numbers are the correct three numbers. All right. So now again, here's my Oregon bar, 28-inch, and we come in here, and it's the same thing, 28-inch bar, 3/8 pitch, .050. There it is. Let me pick up my baby saw, and here it is. This is kind of pictographed, so the bar length, 14 inches, yeah, it's there. But what we need to know is drive links, 59 drive links. And the gauge, .043 is the gauge. And, there's our pitch also, .325 M for micro. All right, so there's that one. And so forth. Now we pull up this bar, and guess what? It's not there. This is WPNK18UM50. That doesn't help me. But I can Google that and look it up. And that number is going to tell me that it matches these specifications right there. Now let's say my kids came in the garage here, scrambled up everything. I've got heaps of chain over there, and I can tell you how long some of those are, but I might need to know how to get that to work. So they made a handy dandy little tool. And first of all, these little grooves right here are to measure the gauge. So I can take the chain and fit that in here, and like, oh, it fits that one, fits that one, fits that one. What do you know? 050. That's the one that it fit the best. So that's an 050 chain. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to look at maybe it's the bar. Okay, well, maybe it's the bar that I'm trying to figure out. So now on the corners of this tool, we have the 058, the 050, the 043, and the 063. Well, 050, I happen to know that's already going to fit, but we're just going to use that corner. And good fit, loose fit, doesn't fit. Okay, so that's we're using the corners to measure the bar. And then we have the pitch. So here's these, we're going to look at these two little grooves, or these two little grooves, to match that pitch. 3/8 pitch, and this is where we can line that up and show you. Oh look, that lines up like a bullseye on the 3/8 pitch right there. But on the 404 pitch, you can see it's off. We line it up bullseye right there on that guy, and it's off right there. Likewise, we can come to the 325, that's not going to fit, or the 1/4 inch, it's just too small. So this little tool can help you sort out which chain is which bar is which, if you got them scrambled up and didn't know.